Namaste everyone, welcome to a very nice game that was played in round 3 of the Candidates Tournament 2026. The game was played between Fabiano Caruana and Javokhir Sindarov. We will analyze this game today. This was a brilliant positional play by Sindarov, and he was able to surprise Caruana in the opening as well as in the middle game. It was a very tactical game, and let's see how the game went. Javokhir opens with d4, d5, c4, e6, and knight f3. Now Caruana castles his pawn on c4 and chooses to go into the queen's gambit accepted. Now e3, knight f6, bishop captures c4 and c5. Here Javokhir castles and knight c6. Since Javokhir has already castled his king and black king is still in the center, he wants to attack and open the center, and he offers this pawn and plays queen e2. Now, if Fabi wants, he can capture this pawn, and let's say knight captures, and queen captures. Black will be able to win a pawn, but white will get a lot of initiative in exchange for this pawn. For example, rook d1 attacking the queen, queen moves, and now let's say knight b3, and black let's say plays bishop b7, bishop e7 to make room for castling. White will play e3 attacking the queen, queen moves, and now bishop b5 check. Bishop d7 defending, and bishop captures, knight captures on d7, and queen f3. Now, this in this position, this pawn is attacked. The knight is also attacked, and the black king has to defend the knight. Hence, it will not be able to castle, and white will be able to put a lot of pressure and win this game. So, Fabi doesn't capture the pawn. Instead, after queen e2, he plays a6, knight c3, b5, bishop d3, bishop b7. Now, again, Javokhir finds this nice idea of playing a4, and what he's doing now is not giving black enough time to move this bishop and castle. So, for example, if let's say bishop is moved, bishop e7, then black will lose a pawn. Rook captures, queen captures, and let's say bishop captures b5. And again, white will be up a pawn. So, black will be able to castle, but white will have a very nice game. So here Fabiano advances the pawn to b4, knight e4, and knight a5, attacking this knight. Now Javokhir captures the knight on f6, and pawn captures f6. This knight can be captured by queen as well, and it is perfectly fine. But Fabiano captures with the pawn with the idea of getting an open file to attack the white king. So G captures f6, D captures c5, and knight b3, attacking the rook and the pawn. Here there is no way to defend this pawn, as Javokhir will have to move the rook to, let's say, b1. Instead, he finds an excellent idea by sacrificing this pawn, c6. Bishop captures and knight e4, attacking the bishop and the knight. So now the knight captures, pawn captures, and rook g8. Here black can capture this pawn, and it is perfectly fine. But since this pawn was earlier offered, and white was able to gain a lot of initiative because of this pawn, so in this case Fabi doesn't capture this pawn. Instead he goes for rook g8, attacking the g2 pawn, g3. Now black plays f5. Here Fabi plays f5 with the idea to create room for the queen to come into the play. and attack the king side. Javokhir plays c4. Let's say if black plays some not so precise move. The idea is to capture this e6 pawn, and if captures back, then queen e6, and white will be able to win the rook. So Fabi calculates precisely. Fabi goes rook g4 because now if this pawn is captured, then rook e4 attacking the queen and the bishop. Now the bishop will have to be sacrificed for the two pawns, and this way black will be up a piece and will be able to win the game. So after rook g4, white defends bishop e3, and now bishop d6, offering exchange of bishops. Rook ac1, bishop e7, and now bishop captures a6. Black moves the king to safety. King f8, bishop b5, and bishop f6, attacking this pawn. White defends with rook f d1 and king g7, further securing the king. Now white plays bishop c6, rook a5, bishop captures d5, rook captures d5, and rook c5. Now if black captures the rook, white will get a passed pawn with attack on the queen. Let's say queen defends, and white will be able to protect this pawn and will have two passed pawns, which will be extremely difficult for black to defend against. So instead of capturing the rook goes back to d7, and Sindarov again finds an excellent idea by advancing this pawn to d5. If pawn captures, then queen f6, attacking the pawn. Now Fabi captures the pawn on b2. Rook captures d5, rook captures d5, rook captures d5, and queen e8. Now rook captures f5. Now this rook is no longer defended. Rook goes back to g6 and h4. Black defends the bishop, bishop c3 and h5. Rook a6 and queen g4 check. King goes to h8 and bishop d4 check. Now if bishop captures, then queen captures check. And if defends, then white will capture the pawn. Even if black captures the pawn on a4, then now white will be up a pawn and will be able to win this game. So after bishop d4 check, black plays f4 and Sindarov plays rook c5. Fabi was extremely low at this point, having only 48 seconds, and he has yet 4 moves to make to reach the time control. So seeing that the white is clearly in a better position because the king is extremely safe and black king is highly exposed. Black has 3 isolated pawns. So black will not be able to defend this position. And in this position, Fabiano Caruana resigned the game. So that was the game. Sindarov have been playing extremely good chess in this tournament. So we will be analyzing more of his games, and like and subscribe for more. Thank you.